This morning with a big Oprah greeting, Michaela Bagans and Mr. Fred Hannon. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to be
always,
here.
What's in your coffee and can I have some?
Yeah.
It's a big old cup of holiday spirit. Good to see you guys.
I love
I'm
it.
so pleased to join
Holidays,
you all
Christmas.
this morning.
Well, so we want to send a shout out this morning to, of course, Shirlene. Hello, Shirlene. Thinking of you. But we have Michaela Bagans, who's the Environmental Services Outreach Coordinator, as well as Mr. Fred Hannon, Director of Smart City Customer Success there at Rubicon. And Michaela, let's start with you. Good morning.
Good morning, Esteban. Happy almost Christmas. I can't believe this is our last show before we head into the new year. Man, I feel like I say this a lot, but good Lord, time is flying by.
Time.
And we are already headed into the holiday season, so I don't want to keep us from the fun from too long. But as always, we're going to start with a couple little updates and announcements from ESD, holiday reminders mostly. So please, folks out there who are avid recyclers, please don't put tanglers like lights or cords in your cart as you're setting up your Christmas decorations. Yes, those things look like they should go in the recycling bin, but they will cause a big problem down at our MRF. So nothing that's going to get in the rollers and cause an issue. And as always, you can check online or on Recycle Coach if you want to search for your specific item. You can look it up and see which bin it belongs in. Also, city offices will be closed on Christmas Eve in observance of Christmas, but trash and recycling collection will continue as scheduled. So put your carts out by 7 a.m. on your collection day as usual. We do have our residential services calendar coming out soon. Keep an eye on your mailbox. It's towards the end of December for that. Hopefully we won't get caught up in any of the supply chain or mail delivery issues that have been we've been forewarned about, but we'll see. We're keeping our fingers crossed at this point. And Christmas trees. Since we won't have a show until the beginning of January, I just want to tell people when you are getting ready to take your tree down, for those of you who like to take your tree down right away, maybe wait, if it's a real tree, for the first week of January for tree recycling. You can bring it to Franklin Miles Park for free for the first 2 weeks of January. Take everything off of it. We don't want your lights. We don't want your tree stands. We don't want your little Santa hats. All of that goes away. Just bring us the tree and we will mulch it and turn it into compost.
We got a text from a listener that said, where do we throw our old light cords? Mine no longer works. I'm assuming they're saying Christmas lights, but
Christmas lights, yeah. Christmas lights should go in the trash. I know that there are some instances in which they can be collected for recycling, but I don't know those off the top of my head, so I'll have to look it up and put it on our website. But if you're just looking for a quick answer, they go in the trash, not in the recycling. Please and thank you.
You got it. Okay. Well, when in doubt, that's better, right? I mean, especially those tanglers.
When in doubt, throw it out.
When in doubt, throw it out. So that's exactly right. Well, all right. Well, we're visiting with Michaela Bagans this morning, and we're also visiting with Mr. Fred Hannon on Environmental Services Division. Thank you for those updates and holiday reminders, Michaela. Really appreciate it. Why don't I, roll out the red carpet drum roll, please. Michaela, we'll turn it over to you to introduce our special guest.
Yeah, we are so excited this morning to have Fred Hannon, the Director of Smart City Customer Success at Rubicon, joining us to talk about our partnership with Rubicon and all the great things that we've been working on with them for the last couple of years. We've actually been partners with Rubicon since right about the same time I joined with the city. So early 2019 is when I think Rubicon became our close friend in the recycling and trash world. So welcome, Fred. We're so glad to have you here. And let's just start with, tell us about you. Tell us about Rubicon for the people who don't know.
Yeah, thank you once again. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure. Really looking forward to our time today. So what is Rubicon? We are a provider of waste and recycling services for governments, organizations, companies, and our goal is to end waste in all its forms. as you said, we have been working with the city of Santa Fe, and I went back and I looked at just how long we've been working together, and it goes back to actually earlier than you thought, 2017. The city
Oh
of Santa
gosh.
Fe did a pilot of the technology. I think the pilot ran from March through December of 2017. And then we went on a sort of month to month basis for all of 2018 until the city put out an RFP for services, telematic services, sort of the services that they saw in the pilot and thought that they would want as far as a partner for a contract. And we actually won that contract in 2019. So that is the 2019 that we use as our benchmark. But we've been around in Santa Fe in the background for quite a while.
Got
Um,
it.
and so when we talk about Rubicon, there's Rubicon, what we refer to as the mothership, and then there's Rubicon Smart City. And we, Rubicon Smart City, are the entity that is working with Santa Fe. And so what we do is we take that extended corporate model of ending waste in all its forms and we extend that to our city partners. So when we started talking about waste, waste was trash and your recycling, but then there's a waste of time, a waste of tax dollars, just a waste of sort of intangibles that are above and beyond what goes to a transfer station, a MRF, a landfill. But just as important. So that's what where sort of like the birth of Rubicon Smart City came from. The idea that we could take that Rubicon model of ending waste and sort of transfer it to cities and city governments. And so that's what Smart City does. We work with our municipal clients, such as Santa Fe, and we work with the cities to end waste in all its forms. That still looks at your trash stream, your recycling stream. But what we also do is we look at other areas where we can eliminate waste. So we will get into this later on. We'll talk about sort of the technology and go backs and all the time that's saved because you're aware of what's happening on the street. But the long and short of it is what we do is we look to end waste above and beyond what goes into the landfill or to your recycling MRF.
Wow, that's really fascinating there, Fred. I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around just the cost implications too on wasting time, as you said, and the applications that are being developed to be able to make municipalities more efficient.
Hmm.
And I am thinking that obviously over the long run, what we're looking at here are opportunities to protect our environment, but also to protect our taxpayers and our
Yes,
expenses over the long term. Is that
absolutely.
basically what it comes down to?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, really cool,
It's
Michaela.
I know, it's such a win-win for everybody involved, and I love having Fred here to talk about it with from his perspective because, I'm down on the ground, I'm seeing it behind the scenes, I'm on the trucks, but to hear his view of things is really, really informative. So Fred, tell us a little bit about Rubicon and Santa Fe and, how we integrate and kind of what the landscape is right now.
Sure, sure. So, we talk about Rubicon, and the company itself was founded in 2008. We've been doing business in Santa Fe since 2017, contracted since 2019. And Santa Fe has what we refer to as our core product offering. So it's a Rubicon Smart City technology. What that consists of is an in-cab device, and Rubicon has provided Santa Fe with iPhones. So there's an in-truck iPhone. There are telematics on the truck that allow you to tell where the truck is, the diagnostics on the truck that gives you vehicle health. So the transmission fluid is low, oil is running hot, things of that nature, heavy braking. So it gives you vehicle telematics as well as driver behavior. So, the driver took that curve a little too fast, slow it down, but it gives you all these indications. So you have the in-cab interface with the iPhone, you have the telematics, and then back in the office, anyone that has an interest in seeing what is going on the street can call up the Rubicon portal on any desktop device. So those are the three main components that make up our core offering. What I'll also say is Santa Fe, because you all have been a client for so long, you were very instrumental and you continue to be instrumental in the development of this product. An example of that is Santa Fe also piloted our artificial intelligence technology pothole detection. And so what that is that basically we place cameras on 3 of your trucks and just basically let the garbage truck go do what it does on a daily basis. And it's looking at road conditions. And if you know anything about artificial intelligence, you say go out and create a pen, right? But you have to teach a computer what a pen is. And so by these cameras being on the road, what they're doing is they're taking literally millions of pictures of a road. So you teach the computer what a road is, and then you start to show it what a pothole looks like. And you literally run millions of images of a pothole through the computer until it now understands on this road, this equals a pothole. And so that's sort of the technology that we are developing, the artificial intelligence, what we refer to as machine learning. And Santa Fe has helped us with that. So all the images that we collect from Santa Fe go into make this machine learning exercise even better. So you have been there in the beginning. You helped us with sort of the foundational technology as far as what solid waste operations need, what technology can do to make those operations better. And now we're taking it to another level with machine learning and hoping to bring something to market that would be mutually beneficial.
Well, I'm thinking about applications for that at a policy level. I mean, can you imagine being able for our city to be able to plan ahead budgetary expenses to say, we know we have so many potholes, where they're at, where they're
Mhm.
located. We know how much it would cost to maybe fix these. We could start budgeting and planning and then, scheduling work. I mean, I'm thinking of
Yes,
all the practical implications from policy to implementation level at a staff level on how this would be beneficial to our city government, but ultimately to us. I mean, as residents, so we're not,
right.
having to call in. Hey, there's a pothole here. There's a
Yes,
pothole there.
you
That's a
nailed
really
it.
nice application.
Absolutely nail it. Um, and this is what proactive government looks like, right? So we are not pulling in feedback from citizens exclusively. With this type of technology, Esteban, as you pointed out, with this sort of proactive approach, what it does is we are going to stop waiting on you to push information to us, and we're going to start pulling it out proactively, right? So, why the garbage truck? Let's back up for a second. Why the garbage truck? The garbage truck, like no other vehicle in a city fleet, goes down every city street at least once a week. The police cars don't do it. Thank God the firemen don't do it. But that garbage truck goes down every city street at least once a week. Throw in the recycling trucks, and now you're looking at possibly touching that street 2 times with a vehicle out of one department. Just imagine the learnings that come from that. We can talk to you about potholes as we've mentioned. You teach the machines to look for low hanging branches, lights out. So all of these things that your citizens today would call in or send an email or go to a portal or the city site, we can now proactively get ahead of that. And wouldn't you want to be a citizen of a city that, hey, guess what, Michaela? I just saw this low branch and it's blocking the mailman's ability to get to my mailbox. Don't worry about that, Mr. Fred. We got you covered. Our garbage truck saw that on Monday. It's already in our queue. It's a work order, and we're going to dispatch a team out there this week. That's what proactive government looks like. That's what
Yeah,
transparency, and I would love to be a part of a city that does that for me.
Wow,
clearly.
Michaela, that's impressive.
I know. I mean, there are so many possibilities and opportunities with this with this partnership and with this technology, which is one of the reasons we've been so excited to work with Rubicon over the last couple of years and really, do that kind of beta phase, give feedback, and work with them to make it the best that it can be. And we actually, I think because of that, had a really cool opportunity recently to showcase that partnership in a larger stage, backing up just to the waste and efficiency side of things. But I'll let Fred deliver the big news.
Well, let me just add right before you give the big news, Fred, that I'm thinking about road conditions change all the time. I mean, I know that the trucks drive our streets, but from one week to the next, the road condition might change because maybe we had torrential rain. Maybe we had we know rain, we know moisture affects road conditions. We know that potholes are created. I don't know if it's daily or weekly, but often.
Mhm.
And so these conditions change. So being able to get real time data and information
Right.
on this type of conditions that do change variably from week to week or month to month is really a good thing.
And you know what? One more thing on that, and then we'll move on. Um, so many times when there's a pothole, people just automatically assume it's on the city. It's on you to fix that. It's on my tax dollars to address that. We are doing a pothole model in another city in the Midwest. And what they are doing is not only are they detecting potholes, but they're looking at what is the cause of the pothole. And so, like, um, think of utility work. So the gas company has to go in, the water company has to go in. They have to tear up the street, manhole covers, and then they go in and they do a patch. That's not a pothole per se, but what happens is this model sees that, and based on the dimensions of the hole and the patch, it triggers responsibility. And
Mhm.
so maybe that patch that actually does sort of turn into a pothole because it's probably not the best. It's just that it's a patch, right? And so it will probably open up and then ultimately become a pothole. If you're able to trace that back with this machine learning, now it's not on the city's dime. It becomes the utility company's responsibility to go back and fix the problem that they caused whenever it is they had to open up the street. So
Hmm.
we develop these products and we think that they have one use, and then we share this with our city partners and come to find out that their creativity and their use of the application grows beyond what we even thought. That's what a city like Santa Fe has done for us. We thought this would do X. Santa Fe tells us it could also do Y. And that's the beauty of this mutual partnership, specifically in what's happening with Santa Fe. So Michaela teased some big news, and I'm smiling because I am happy to say that we were able to showcase the work that Santa Fe has done through a partnership with Amazon Web Services, so AWS. And Rubicon runs its cloud-based technology on Amazon Web Services. So Amazon's very interested in the good that we are doing. As you know, Amazon is a signatory on the climate agreement. So they have a very strong sustainability program. Part of that is looking at how their services, their partners, their clients are tying back into the larger sustainability goals. And we were very pleased to submit Santa Fe as one of our partners in looking at the operations, the impact that technology has had on making Santa Fe a much more efficient and greener city. So, Amazon actually, and I'm sure Michaela, you will make the link and details available, but Amazon recently released a docuseries on Climate Next, and Santa Fe is prominently featured in that. It was premiered in Las Vegas, November 30th, and Amazon will be rolling this out and promoting it nationwide come Monday, December 13th. So very excited about that. Looking forward to trumpeting it not only in Santa Fe, but beyond.
Well, that's really amazing news. I'm thinking of just the possibilities with that, Fred, not only for our municipality here in Santa Fe, not only municipalities across the country, but I'm thinking of Department of Transportation programs. We got 18 wheelers driving our interstates all the time. This
Mm,
possibly could, be put on 18 wheelers. Real time data can feed back to our Department of Transportations to say this is affecting our highways too. I mean, the possibilities are endless with this. Congratulations on this, you know, big partnership thing.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And the video, the video is exciting because it illustrates just how this technology, not just the possibilities in the future, but also how it's having an impact here in Santa Fe right here, right now. And
Right.
that's the cool thing. It's not just, down the line, it's already in motion. And we're doing things here within the city that are, you know, helping us reach our sustainability goals and achieving that lofty goal of carbon neutrality by 2040 if we can get there. So, the video, it really illustrates how this partnership is making and shaking now and in the future as well.
Fred, can I ask you from a partner perspective? I want to brag a little bit about the city, Michaela and Charlene and all the crew, and obviously all the drivers out there. But talk about what made Santa Fe such a special partner for you, and how Santa Fe, in my mind, is leading the country in something like this. I want to hear from you, Fred, what you think of the city of Santa Fe.
No, it's true. There are a number of cities out there, right? And there are a lot of cities between. I'm working remotely, but I office out of New York City. There are a lot of cities between New York and Santa Fe. So there are a lot of opportunities where other people could have said yes. But it starts with the vision of leadership from your mayor down to Charlene and the department. This is not something that we are hiding from everyone else, and Santa Fe just happened to discover it. But your leadership in Santa Fe was prescient enough to say, this is something we want to do. This means something for us. It means something for the larger good. And so Santa Fe, what I would say is Santa Fe is actually to be rewarded and praised because you all saw technology that is out there and you decided to take advantage of it. Like I said, we talk to any and everyone, but it's the courageous city that steps up and says, yes, we want to do this. And that's why we are there today.
Way to go, Michaela and
Uh,
Charlene, the city of Santa Fe. That's awesome. Great to hear from you, Fred, on that. Because, obviously I'm very proud of our city and a lot of the milestones and, thought leadership on environmental issues. I think it's great. Michaela, are you blushing?
just a bit. You can't really tell because I'm a little washed out on the video here, but yeah.
Send me my
you
$20
know, and
later on.
and like Fred said, credit goes to the people with the vision and that leadership to say, this is something we want to capitalize on and act on, and we know that it's going to have advantages both now and in the future as well. And I will be putting the link to that video up on our website, santafenm.gov/ESD, come December 13th, so you can check there. It is out in the airwaves, but I don't want to get ahead of Amazon, so we will wait for them, and then it will be available for any and all to watch on our website when the time comes. It's really cool. I've seen it, and I'm not in it. Charlene's in it. She does great. So kudos to you, Charlene, and also kudos to everybody who came and visited Santa Fe and made that happen. It was a really fun week of filming here. But for the last little bit of the show, I guess I want to talk to Fred about what we've talked about, sort of general things that Rubicon has done and this looking forward. So what are some of the specific stuff that's happening with Santa Fe in the near future? What are we acting on right now?
Okay. So I think the largest project we're mutually working is a route optimization. And a route optimization will help Santa Fe to take your efficiency beyond where you are today just with the core technology. What is an optimization? Essentially, what Rubicon does is we go in and we look at all aspects of your operation. We want to look at your vehicles, your staffing, the number of households that you serve and where you serve them, the number of vehicles that you have out there. So all of these things, the days of service, you collect 5 days a week. And then we take all of that data and we run it through a number of simulations. And it's based on mutual conversations. What do you want? Some cities want to reduce the number of hours. Just about every city wants to reduce overtime. Some cities want to balance out routes. So Michaela goes out on a Tuesday and she picks up 1,000 homes, and Estevan, you go out that same Tuesday and you only pick up 500. Workplace morale, right? We want to balance that out so that the two of you have a closer workday that doesn't favor one over the other. So that's what optimization does. It takes all those data points and it says this is what we would recommend, and it may say, run 10 trucks. Run those 10 trucks and they pick up 1,000 households each. And in Santa Fe, you have one truck, one person. So the truck and the employee equals. In some other cities where they have rear load vehicles, that could be a truck of up to 3 people. So you've got the driver and then 2 helpers on the back. One of the things that a city may say is, we absolutely need to bring our overhead down. And so how can we do that? By optimizing. Well, in a city that's using rear loads, as I mentioned, that's a 3-person vehicle. If you move over to what Santa Fe has, which is your automatic side loads, that's a 1-person vehicle. So same vehicle on the street, but you've reduced that personnel count by 2. So that's what some cities are looking at doing. They're looking at reducing personnel. Everyone wants to reduce overtime or at least manage it better, balance out the routes. And that's what we're doing in Santa Fe. We are now looking at your operations as you're currently running them. As we've discussed with your leadership team, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to see fewer trips to landfills, more trips to the recycling MRF? If you have multiple options, and there are some cities that have a landfill on the east side, a landfill on the north side, we want to be able to tell you which landfill to go to because we factor in miles, which then has an impact on your greenhouse gases. All of what you do, you can look at ways to slice it, make it a little more efficient and a lot more environmentally friendly. That's what optimization is doing. That's what we're bringing to Santa Fe right now. And we hope to roll that out in the next month or two, and then see what Santa Fe does with that in the way of validating and then ultimately implementing.
Great. Well, that's awesome. This is the Environmental Services Division. We have a few minutes left. Coming up, we have our New Mexico music program. But Michaela, Fred, why don't we open it up for some final thoughts? Michaela, what are some of the last minute items that we want to share with our listening audience out there?
Well, I just want to do a quick recap on all the great things that Fred has talked about and, really emphasize not only is Rubicon making things more efficient and better overall with what they call their core technology here in Santa Fe, just the basic stuff, go backs and truck maintenance and making sure that things are on time and efficient. But we're also looking to the future and looking into the ways that we can make it even better and even more efficient. And, like I said in the beginning, that win-win of, we're saving time, we're saving money, and we're also working towards that sustainability goal down the line. So really excited about that. I'm so glad that not me, but the we of Environmental Services Division had the foresight to partner with Rubicon back in 2017 and, look at where we are today.
Well said, Michaela. Absolutely. Fred, final thoughts from you, my friend.
I would just say, I welcome the partnership that Rubicon and Santa Fe has. I look forward to continuing it. And I look forward to Santa Fe continuing to help us to innovate. Now, we are a different company than we were in 2019, where Santa Fe was one of 5 clients. We have more clients than that, but that doesn't mean the voice is any diminished. We want to still hear what works in Santa Fe. We want to still hear some of the ideas that you have as far as ways that you're looking to become much more sustainable and efficient. And as we've done for these past 3 years, we will continue to listen to that and work it in and innovate as much as we can. And we're mutually better off for it. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Michaela and Fred, and have a very special happy holiday season with you and yours. And, man, thank you. And Michaela,
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you next year.
I
Thanks
know.
for having me.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays, and remember to recycle right.
And Fred, when you come to Santa Fe, you're welcome to come by our studios with Michaela. I'd like to say hello to you and say thank you for what you guys have done. Appreciate
I've
it.
been to your beautiful city. I will take you up on that.
All right. Well, this is KSWV Radio, folks.